guys, welcome to another video. My name is Vanessa if you guys are new here. Hello. So I thought I would do a little sit down video about health. I thought I would talk to you guys today a little bit about health, my health journey, some things that's really helped me, and why it's so important and how it can actually really honestly genuinely change your life. And I think it's just something that should be hyper fixated on more than we're thinking of certain other things like outside beauty. And I was thinking of a kind of sit down video that I wanted to do, and as much as I want and I will do kind of like a sit down video of like my favorite things that I love and things like that, I feel that this is more prioritized in my life, which honestly helps me so much more to feel my best. And so I'm kind of just going to give you guys some things that make me feel my best and things that really help me. And I just think health is something that's so important for everyone. It doesn't matter what age. And I think it also can come in different forms. I don't think it's just about working out. I think it's in so many different things. And I think it's about choosing to have a lifestyle that is really going to reflect you to feel your best. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of like a background story of mine, how I even got into caring about myself, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. Like, if you don't care about yourself and you don't have worth about yourself, you're not going to typically want to view yourself as that, and you're not going to want to feed yourself the best things. You might not want to, feel worthy enough to take vitamins or make doctor appointments to check on your health, or make 6-month cleanings or anything else like that. Like, you might just not take vitamins or do wake up and go to bed earlier. And there's just so many different things that we can do every day to feed our temple that is making us feel so much better, and that we're able to do the things that we're meant to do. My family and I are Italian, so my mom and dad were always cooking, more my mom, but my mom was always cooking, and so I'd come home from school and there'd always be food on the table. So I think it was nice that I had a mom in my house who was very cultural and always trying to prioritize like healthy foods that weren't processed. Not to say that we didn't eat processed food, but we didn't really have ever like canned things, or she kind of was really good about that. It was just in our culture. So I think that is really awesome. But I also think there was just times like I'm young and we had a ton of junk food, a ton of snacks, goldfish, Cheez-Its, those things. I also want to preface, like, I eat everything in moderation, but I'm really good about trying to make conscious efforts to move my body or drink enough water or take my vitamins. So I'm not just eating like straight junk food, like takeout every day, because it really will affect your skin, it'll affect your sleep, it affects your mind. Like, you just feel rubbish, like you just feel gross. And honestly, it's an act of self-love, it's an act of discipline, and that's kind of what I'm more getting at. So when I was about 16, I ended up tearing my ACL. And when I tore my ACL, long story short, I had to rehab my knee, I had to be in the gym, all these things. I felt like it was a very young age for me to start thinking about stuff like this, because I was playing soccer competitively for my high school, but also I was always playing on a club travel team, which my parents invested a lot of money into me because they knew I had the skill. So because of it, we were hoping I could get a scholarship of some sort, which didn't end up happening because I ended up tearing my ACL, which took me out of like the pool, they would say, of like, it was just the timing of it really was a disfavor to me, because when I tore my ACL, I couldn't even get in with certain coaches because they told me that they didn't want someone who was basically like behind, which sucked to hear at a young age, and I didn't understand at that age. And so it made me really upset, but obviously God had different plans, which works out the way that it's meant to. But I just remember at that point, like there was still some hope for me, there was still some encouragement. I was going back, it was my junior year of high school, so it was like for my senior year that I was able to go back. And by that time you're like usually committed, but I was still having faith and hope. They were like, don't give up, just come back, try to be as best as you can, try to get back into it, try to be stronger than you were. So I had this mindset of like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to school. Like, I wanted to do this my whole life. I was like, it's time to just like put my head down and like start and just like believe in myself and all this stuff. Which, as I look back, I'm like, I was so young. Like, I think I was like 15 or 16 when I was going through this. And as I was starting going to therapy, being more self-conscious about, like, I was going to the gym every day. So I started going to the gym. And when I started going to the gym, I was like, well, I probably should start eating a little healthier too, right? I mean, it only makes sense. So then as I was doing that, I just started to notice I'd make small little habit changes. Like I would have to first off say no to so many things, because after school, it was around 3 o'clock, I would like go straight from school to the gym. But I remember people were like, do you want to go get food? Do you want to go hang out? And I had to be like, no, I have to rehab my knee and this is so important for me. So I was already just like almost like making a decision that can also pull you away from stuff, but it's for the best, which I don't think we should ever apologize for. Yes, obviously still have such close friends and like make time for them. That's not what I'm saying. But priorities are huge. And I think it's like, I was learning, God was showing me at 16, like, okay, this is like the sacrifice you're gonna make, and it's gonna really help your body. It's gonna teach you to care about your body. I actually did this as a favor to you so that you would learn to care about your body, so that when you're older, you're gonna know and be prepared. So the things that we go through, that's just a side little thing, the things we go through are for a purpose. We just don't see them yet, and a lot of the times our pain is always turned into purpose, and there's a huge silver lining and a blessing in between it. But I do remember, yeah, I had to say no a lot. I was always feeling like I was kind of like off by myself, but I just knew that I had to get this done. I had colleges to talk to and things like that. And then I started just like becoming interested in the health and nutrition. I was like watching YouTube videos, and I started to notice like, okay, I'm gonna start eating a little healthier. So I would like kind of not opt for like chips, or I started to read like the labels of like ingredients on the back of granola bars and things like that. And then it started to kind of just, you know, continue, and that turned into me saying, okay, I think I want to go to bed a little sooner. I think I want to drink a little more water today. I think I want to maybe try a vitamin or take care of my, I don't know, just like makeup brushes. I was like, oh my gosh, there's probably bacteria in my makeup brushes. I should probably clean those. And then it was like, I should probably make my bed every morning. And then I should, you know, so all these things that started to make me, like, I started to notice how discipline was changing me for the better. I started to notice not just my physical appearance changed completely, but I literally felt like I had so much more energy. I looked better. I felt better. My mind felt clearer. I felt, and then I like felt so set apart, because I was like, I don't see many people my age doing this. And I just felt honestly really good. I would start to do these cold shower things. Like I would wake up and I would do like cold shower shocks, and I was in high school, so this was like my junior year of high school. And I remember from that, I'll never forget how God really works on us. Sometimes we don't realize it. I was raised Catholic, knowing God, but I never had a personal relationship with it. I did, but like I kind of put it on like vacant. Like I just was like, yeah, I believe in God, but like I'm gonna do my own thing too. And I wasn't really aware, and then until college. But during that time, I look back and I remember there was this point, because as you start to take care of your body, you start to recognize things about your mind. And so I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna take care of my body. I was feeling good. I felt good about myself. I was like, what's like one more thing that I could just like do that made me like 1% better? Like this was my mindset. And it really helped structure my mind. Like this is where I started to become like who I am today. And I remember having this thought, and I would be in groups and stuff, and we'd have friends, and I started to get really like, I would use the word convicted. I would get convicted when we were with friends and people would talk about people, and I would by accidentally start, you know, talking with them, and it turned into gossip. And I was like, I feel awful. Like I don't want to do this. I don't want to be this. Like I had to make a conscious decision to choose like who I wanted to be. And I was like, I don't want this. Like I don't feel good doing this, and I'm better than this. I know I am, and I don't like it. So it was my junior year. I really started to remove myself from positions where people would talk about people, and I would just like try my best. I mean, I would fail here. I would fail because I was still dealing really heavily with people pleasing, but my heart was there at least, and I knew God saw my heart. And I would try to remove myself, or I would be like, I remember one time I'll never forget, like I really was like, I really don't feel comfortable talking about this person. And it was like the first time I had ever said that. And I feel like we know how awkward that could be for other people or for yourself. But once I started doing it, it just was something like, and I still find myself in positions today where I'm like, I don't want to talk about that person. I'm a Christian, I can't, I don't want to, it's not gonna make me feel good. Not to say that I don't fail, of course. Like, I literally 2 weeks ago was like convicted about it. I was like, I should have said something else, or, you know, I'm human just as you. I'm along this walk. I am not perfect. Like, I don't ever want anyone to think that. I fail all the time, and I need God to help me up just as much as he helps anyone else, if not more. But I do remember making that conscious decision of who I wanted to be. So with all that being said, I think that is why health is so important. And if you can learn from my story, you don't have to go through it yourself. You can start to maybe decide and make those decisions for you. And I just think some of the things, I have them written down, like what I was thinking for health-wise. I thought I'd share with you guys some of the things that I wrote down. And this is the thing, like, I want every single person to truly live the right way that God has called us to be, in the sense of health. Like, he has called us, you know, God says that our body is not our own, it was bought with a price, which means we are basically borrowed, and it's like, this is not our forever home. And so we have a responsibility to honor and take care of our bodies to the best that we can, at least with a conscious behind it, of an intention that is, you know, being somewhat healthy, and I think even beyond that. But truly, I think that that's honestly what's really helped me, is like, okay, Lord, like, you know, desire for me to take care of my body. And so I wrote some things down that I think are really going to help you guys, because it's just something that's helped my life. And I'm only 23, so I feel like I've had a pretty good start to it, and I just want to see so many younger girls also taking care of their bodies at a young age. I feel like I hear so much the saying of, well, you have one life and you should just like eat whatever you want, and you know, when you get 30 or 40, then you can start worrying about it. Well, why would you do that? Why, you know, when you're 30 and 40, what if you get some type of sickness from that? Why wouldn't we try to prevent something before it goes wrong? We all know how much harder it is to be at the place where you're actually in destruction and work backwards than it is to prevent something from ever happening in the first place. And I think that that's not wise to do. And I think that it would just be a much wiser thing for us to just try to take care of ourselves prior to it. So I wrote down some habits that I kind of just like intertwine into my daily life, and I thought I'd share them with you guys. And so the first one's lemon water in the morning, which I've been doing now just for a little bit, and you don't have to do anything that I say. I just want to share with you guys things that's really helped me, that I think could also help you, especially as you're functioning through life as a student, as someone who works 40 hours. Like, I do these things, so they're very practical, and they're not like insane crazy things, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. They're just conscious habits and different ways of thinking. So I do lemon water in the morning, and I also try to do a nice green drink, something that's going to give me a little bit more energy. Trying to get my fruits and vegetables in, like, we obviously hear all this, but truly trying to like eat vegetables in the morning versus like a granola bar, or, you know, I don't know, cereal that maybe has like a lot of sugar. Like, I think taking out as much sugar as we can try to is going to really help us in building our gut. It's going to make us feel better. Things like, I used to have like really brittle nails, dry skin, things that really helped out were just like drinking water, and honestly just getting like a variety of different types of foods in my body, like getting a lot of omega-3s, like fish, and fatty acids like olive oil with avocado, things like that. Like, I eat meat, so protein, high in iron, steak. I actually did go to a nutritionist. I invested in that because I thought it was worth it for my body to function, obviously, to the best. And I went to a nutritionist, he's like a holistic one in South Hadley. I could link for you guys where it is, but his name is John, and he's the best. It's called Alternative Health, and I remember I went there just once, and I've gone there now a couple times, but when I went, they gave me like a whole scan of my body so I could kind of really start fresh from like what problems I was having. He noticed I had like headaches or fatigue or different types of things like that. So he really helped me. So I think there's so much help, and it's just about like what we want to do with ourselves. Not to mention, when you start taking care of yourself, you start looking better. And I think a compliment that I always get is like, your skin is so soft, or like, how does your skin glow, or little things like that. And Although there's times my skin's definitely not doing that. And honestly, it's because I probably didn't sleep well that week, or I was on my phone too much and my eyes have purple under them because all I've done was scroll on my phone. I didn't probably eat enough food that I needed to nourish my body. I probably didn't really see sunlight. So it's like, I know and I can tell when my body is like feeling just not itself because I've trained it so much and I've really invested in my body. I one time heard someone say something about our body being like a vehicle, which sounds weird. We are not vehicles, but the comparison was like, you're not gonna fuel a car with bad gas. Like, you're not gonna put diesel into a car that needs gasoline. Isn't gonna take diesel, it's not gonna run properly. And I think the same is with us. Like, I don't think we should put things in our body that are gonna make us not be able to function to the best ability, because it's gonna literally break one day. We're gonna slow down, we're gonna get like sluggish, and we're not gonna feel our best. So these are just like preventative things that you can start doing to make yourself feel better, and then it's really gonna change the way you like feel about yourself. You're gonna start to notice like, wow, oh my gosh, my skin is starting to glow, I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, I actually feel like I can concentrate in school or at work, I don't feel so bad about myself. Like, there's so much like inner healing that needs to happen, but this is a step to healing, and this is a step to showing yourself that you care about yourself, and you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go for a walk instead of just sit on your phone and watch a video for 4 hours. You know, it's like there's so many things we can do. So a lot of fruit in the morning. I used to have it at one point in my life, there was hair falling out of my hair. I remember I was so stressed. That's just like goes back to God's word of don't worry, but I was so stressed and I wasn't feeding myself the things I needed that my hair started to literally fall out. And I was just like, I am literally 19 years old, like why is my hair falling out? But it was probably because I wasn't taking care of myself. I was just letting myself like go because I was like so stressed, and I think that's something that obviously I don't do anymore, but really is gonna help. Sunscreen something I put on every single day. I wash my face, I do a skincare regimen, I put my serums on, I invest in that, and I put sunscreen on, and I start to feel so much better. I'm like, okay, my skin's not gonna fry in the sun. Literally brushing my teeth like twice a day and flossing. Those are things like I've always done that, but I feel like sometimes if you get into like a depressive slump or something, you just don't even want to do those basic things. So literally just get up, splash cold water on your face and brush your teeth, and buy those floss picks and literally just floss your teeth. Like, your breath's gonna taste better, it's gonna smell better, it's gonna just be cleaner and things like that, which also goes back to like booking cleanings, booking doctor's appointments, like taking care of yourself, taking vitamins in the morning. Like, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but just starting with one thing is honestly going to make you feel so much better anyways. Different things I do, like shower every day. I put deodorant that doesn't have all those chemical stuff in it. Like, I always get compliments that I smell good because I always try to take a shower. I shower, my skin's soft. I do like dry brushing, like I'll dry brush my skin, and I'll put lotion on. Like almost every single time I shower, there's not a time I'm not putting lotion on my body, to just feel so much better about myself. I feel like I smell better, like I put on a little thing of perfume. Like, there's just things that I try to do that make me feel my best so I can show up my best and do God's work. I've gotten a little bit into red light therapy. Like, I've just like, instead of sitting on my phone, once again, clearly I've had addiction problems with my phone. Yes, I think a lot of us have, but I would just go in my room. I bought like a little red light therapy. I got it for Christmas. I just put it on. I just sit in front of it for half an hour. I just feel like it gives me an energy boost. I feel like I sweat a little bit. I mean, I don't know how much it really helps. I think it helps. I have a red light therapy mask. Like, there's just little things that make me feel so much better. Doctor visits and balance and don't delay. I think those are things that I really wanted to talk about. Like, balance is everything. I literally want to preface once again, I truly am such a balanced person. I really try my best. Like, I used to do the thing where I like wouldn't eat sugar at all, or I wouldn't like even drink coffee because it was like had like sugar in it. Like, there's things that like I don't think are healthy about being health conscious, but if we could just like find a happy medium, it literally changed my life. I would be so selfish not to share it with you, so I really just feel called to share that with you. And so I think that balance is everything. I try to do just like I try to listen to my body. I'm very in tune with my body. I think as you start to be more health conscious, you're gonna notice that you're like in tune with your body as well. So like for instance, like if I drink something that is like not making me feel good, I just probably won't opt to drink it again. Or maybe it was because I haven't had as much like vegetables in the week than I did, you know, another time. So for instance, like yesterday, perfect example. My family and I went to my grandma's. She cooked for us a beautiful dinner. We had a ton of bread, a ton of pasta, a ton of carbs, which I work out, so I need carbs. But I had chocolate. I had a little bit of coffee. I had some tea. I had to mind my dog. Just like a really, you know, dinner. And you know, this morning I had a green juice, and I just think little things like that really help. Just make sure you're balancing your life. Don't wait till you're 30 to think it's okay, now I can start eating healthy. It's not gonna work. I mean, it's just so much easier now at this age to take it into consideration a little bit. I know we're young and weak, it's so much easier to just eat and not see the fat or anything like that, but it really will catch up to you. But you don't wanna be 30 and then start getting like a little mole because you didn't ever wear sunscreen and now you have to worry about cancer. It's like, just try your best to prevent it. We're not going to be perfect. We're not meant to be perfect ever, but these are things that are really going to help you, and I'm a literal walking testimony of it. So I really hope this video helped you. I know it was kind of long, but I'm just so passionate about health. I actually wanted to become like a nutritionist or something, but I think God has other things, and I have a podcast that I'm like doing, and I'm gonna have some really beautiful people on who are really good with health and really conscious about that stuff, and I think they'll give you really good advice about it. So I love you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.